Day one of the new term at Westminster, and the government has set up stall. A huge sale of assets to match an even bigger public deficit. As politicians return from recess, Gordon Brown met with economists, outlining the items that have now been given a dusting and offered up to private bidders.
We plan a sale of assets to deal with our debt issues. And I've said today that 16 billion of assets will be sold within the next 2 years. We've listed a number of assets that we are determined over the next period of time to put into the marketplace. That includes, of course, the student loan book, the Dartford Tunnel, the the Channel rail link. It includes Urenco, subject to security issues being addressed on that. It includes the tote and includes other facilities and the property portfolio that will be announced over the next period of time.
It's estimated that the total burden on the public purse will reach 175 billion this year. The income from the sale of non-financial assets, as they are called, expected to net around £3 billion. More details on how that amount will be realised have yet to be revealed and are probably dependent upon buyers. In the current tough financial climate, though, there is concern that full market value is unachievable. The Tory leader David Cameron wary of the government's track record.
We must make sure, as every family knows, if you sell something, it can help you in the short term, but it doesn't actually help you live within your means in the long term. So we've still got to get to grips with public spending, get to grips with the deficit, and we must make sure we get good value for money. Let's not forget, this is the Prime Minister who sold our gold reserves, and if he'd sold them later, he could have got 4 times the quantity. So let's not have any more incompetence from him.
Those assets the government are looking to sell include property, services, companies and debt. The debt in the form of the student loans book has been prepared for auction before. Its inclusion within the government's bundle is not surprising, but concerns will be raised, especially by the millions of students who still have outstanding loans, fearing their interest payments will increase after the debt is transferred into the hands of private firms. Motor groups have attacked the inclusion of the Dartford crossing, the AA's president hitting out at broken promises to remove tolls on the crossing once it had been paid for. A pledge, though, from the Department of Transport that the interests of road users would be protected if a sale happens. Further concerns also over the burden on local councils, who are to find around 13 of the 16 billion target. The local government authority fears the sale of school fields, cemeteries and libraries. But it's the alternative the government says it fears worse. The business secretary claiming the alternative to the asset auction would be savage cuts floated by the Conservatives. Comments backed up by the Prime Minister himself. Rather than boosting the coffers, he claims, this dash for cash, saving the country from depression.